My Gavanen Melonin, and well met indeed. I am Arakir Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Orcs of Gundabad in our three-pronged attack of both Erebor, Torfilin, and eventually the Vale after we've taken Goblin Town. You will note that Framsburg is currently being besieged by Captain Wittigis, which is a bit of a shame, and that the dwarves are also besieging Witherboard, but our army stands ready under Warlord Gerzog the Wrathful to kick them back to their lonely mountain. The elves encroach upon our land from Torfilin, and we hope to fight them back also, but unfortunately they are better than us. So, not always possible. But anyway, we will stand there and try and block them. We are besieging Goblin Town, and we will just siege that out. Otherwise, we've got some troops coming from the north, and I think we're at an end turn, and we're going to have to hope that Framsburg survives, because I've got nothing I can send over to help it. So we'll end the turn. Some developments for you on the modding side, coming primarily from this campaign and your comments. First is, we got no reinforcements, but we have about the same number of troops as them. Oh no, we're never going to win. If we can try and use the walls somehow to... I don't know, we'll give it a whirl. One of the chief changes is that, of course, the Raiders have been incredibly freely available to me as a Gundabad player, which is something that I must raise my hand up and say I did not factor in to the Gundabad roster at all. But it strikes me as being more interesting that the Gundabad use Raiders as their trash than using Snaga units, because Snaga are available for most factions and they're a relatively overdone unit type. But Raiders are quite fresh, if I can use that term, in that they're not used that much. Well, every nation does get them, so I suppose they are probably used an awful lot. But to me, they don't feel like they're used as much, whereas I see Snaga all the time. I don't see Raiders all the time. So, the plan is, or briefly just addendum, I happen to know that the towers on this map don't work at the moment. And so, hang on, actually, did RK fix that? RK might have fixed that. So we'll go down the bottom there and double check. So the plan at the moment is that the Raiders will now form essentially Gundabad's trash tier. So you will have these Raiders available from the Brawlers Hall, which is available in every region after certain requirements are met. They will be slowed down ever so slightly, but they won't be made as slow as I had planned to make them. But they will now be your trash, these two units of Raiders. And the thinking at the moment, it's very early days, is that on taking Goblin Town, instead of unlocking just Snaga, you will actually unlock Snaga and a few Goblin-named units to directly link to the fact it's Goblin Town, with the caveat that they only come from Goblin Town. So the Raiders will now be the trash available everywhere, and the Snaga and a few extra Goblin units will now come specifically from Goblin Town, and be available to the human player upon capturing the city.
Enemy are battering down our gates.
The towers do work, yes! RK, you are a legend, sir. Unfortunately, we're close enough that they'll just keep firing for the whole time. Don't throw your javelins yet, we really want to try and capitalise on you. I'm not too worried about their archers, they don't really have enough. I also opted, as you can quite clearly see, to do 2 Gundabad episodes at the start of this week, and then the end of this week will be 2 Ardenaim episodes, and then if everything goes according to plan, my fingers are crossed, then next week there will be, when I am away, so there won't be regular recordings, but there will be a faction overview and the top 10 list that I have created. Well, we've killed 10% of them so far. Wait till they come in. Now. Give it now! Give it now! Come on, come on. Yes, 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 yes. Nice. Some kills. That's what we like to see. Another volley going in. Another 3%. Yes, yes, kill them all! Leave none alive. Can you imagine if a stray javelin just clipped the Anduin captain on this battle map and their whole army just routed? Goodness gracious, we're doing significantly better than expected. Now, here's a little question. How good are the skirmishers when they finish with their javelins? 4 and 5 plays 7 and 6. Ah, they are much worse. They are much worse. Now, this is where I don't think we will win. Because they do outclass us, really. Although it sounds like our towers are still going. Yes, they are. Oh, yes, you beauties. Come on. Come on. He looks like he might be the captain. Go on, someone just lop his head off. If we could get a flank attack in there, that would be brilliant, but I don't want to risk it. Yes, the enemy general has fallen. Press now, press now.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Get them under, get them wavering. We've got some running. Come on, come on. Someone else is broken. Yes! Capture as many as you can. Chase them down. Yes! What a win. What a win, everyone. What a win. Oh, of course, this is version 2.3. I made the towers better. That is why they were doing so well. Ah, brilliant. Glorious day. Glorious, glorious day. They lost 439 soldiers. We only killed 391, but we captured 48. And our casualties inflicted are 250 exactly. Which means that we killed 250 with our troops. We captured 48. And then, therefore, we got 350, 17, 43... 50, 83 enemies were killed by the towers alone. Feel free to double check that. I've just done that off the top of my head there and then. But that sounds about right. The differences to the towers, I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again because why not? The difference to the towers, of course, is that they are now more accurate and they are more deadly. They do more damage with each arrow. Those are the only two changes that I made. Oh, and of course the baluster. You get baluster towers automatically now. I also did have a little fiddle around with cannon towers because they are so cool. But unfortunately, when you upgrade to cannon towers, you actually get visible cannons. I'm not going to fight that one. I'm just going to auto-resolve that one. It actually shows cannons sticking out of the towers on the walls. So whilst the actual projectile, we could always just try and claim that it's like a catapult tower. Because the actual projectile is just like a fast-moving catapult. Catapult bolt or rock boulder, but unfortunately you can't explain away the blatant cannons sticking out of the walls, so that one didn't really work. I suppose I could just actually put the projectile on the baluster tower, but that's a bit ham-fisted, isn't it?
What is it you wish to discuss?
Trade rights, you scum.
Hold us at
Yes.
we meet again.
More units in the capital. Oh, you've got quite the army in the capital now. And even more troops available to train. I don't know. I'm tempted, so tempted to just wait and train more. And we need more. Ah, no, we can't. Right, so skirmishers and the raiders head down to Framsburg, where you can. You four head across. Oh, I need you to get all the way to Anazanar, really. You're not going to get that far, I can tell you for true. They're about to have some archers, so take them out and all hunters as well. Get to Anazanar. What do we do with these? Do we attack? King Thorin has come. And he's got an army as well. Booger. No, I say we pull back to Anazanar for now, where we shall wait. And then hopefully our reinforcements will arrive while the dwarves just dilly around and do kind of nothing. Sorry, let me just turn my headset down. While they just kind of dilly-dally around. And then... Oh, Torfilin doesn't have much, does it? If that army in the middle there can beat Captain Orifin, then this is our time. Why am I saving now? No, that is a good idea. To war, men! We outnumber them almost 3-1, and we have got Ilkrul. They have no archers. I think we will win. No archers for an elven army is akin to suicide, to be honest. It's foolish. Very, very foolish. I'm thoroughly looking forward to releasing to the top 10 video to you all. I think I've improved on the first one substantially with better transitions and better camera movement and panning around. And also just, I've done different battlegrounds and all sorts, so it should just be a bit better overall. Despite the fact that I'm sure anyone who put their minds to it can guess exactly who number 1 will be. Right, what are we doing? We're attacking them, so they'll try and run away, but at the minute we've got the high ground. So send in the javelins first. Oh, I misspoke in the previous episode because, of course, you don't just get 2 archers, you also do get Snaga archers. But with the spiel I gave you just a moment ago, by the time you guys come to play as Gundabad, Snaga archers will only be available in Goblin Town, so they will be you'll get like 1 or 2 if you even bother to train them. So, what I might do is make Snaga available in any mountain region to supplement the raiders and skirmishers who will be lessened in their availability. And then the Goblin units will only be available in Goblin Town itself. Suggesting, of course, that they have come directly from that town. By capturing Goblin Town, you have taken the goblins, if you will. If they are going to pull like all the way back, we'll just chase after them. We'll worry about formations and stuff in a moment. It looks like they're going to pull to the slight hill behind them. Scum! I should think of another word, really. Scum is overused in my descriptions of both dwarves and elves. I'd like those woodland warriors to go down, please. Because they are the real annoyance here. El Crow. Right, in we go. Don't fire at will, I've got target for you. Everybody get a little jog on. Perfect. Standing in position and fire. Oh, well, move forwards and fire. And stand still, you stupid scum, and fire. I've just used scum again. Say scum all the time. In we go. These ones throw javelins. Did I mention that a moment ago? They throw javelins, so we need them to die first. So, any deaths that you can get with those. Yeah, that's going reasonably well. Send in the javelin auxiliaries. Move up to support the archers. Ilk will get into position there. Ah, they're coming. Their javelins are coming for our javelins. Archers run back. Don't waste your time on their javelin troops. Don't fire at will. Charge them. Take the battle to them. Oh, look at those. You can count on them just being bloody annoying, can't you? Throw your javelins, come on.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Yep, there you go, they're turning, they're turning. Javelins, please.
The enemy are badly
Charge.
bloodied. They have
Charge.
lost half their men.
Charge to assist. Ah, it's all over anyway. Continue. How many did we lose? 23. Kind of expected. 79 of them gone down. That's about as many as we're going to get now. Well in. Oh, that was favourable. That was a favourable exchange. I am doing what I can to obviously keep the campaign with an element of difficulty, because of course if you've been watching from the beginning, or if you haven't been watching from the beginning, the major thing that is standing out to me at the moment is that Gundabad is a little too easy. which is always a threat in Divide and Conquer because every nation, the human is so much better than the AI, unfortunately, and the AI really struggles with being surrounded by so many enemies. And also the AI is something that doesn't happen as much in the base game, in Med 2, because of the geography of Europe. But the AI is really not very good at working out that mountains are something they can't walk through. And so they will often be rather reticent or hesitant to attack you because they've got someone bordering them, even though there's mountains completely between the two. Oh, bugger, they have archers. And what's Legolas in 2.3? Yeah, Harry Bang, of course. I don't think we can actually win that. I think moving that close to them was a bit of a mistake. So the AI makes very strange decisions based on stupid decisions, or stupid conclusions, I should say. But there's nothing we can really do about that, which is a bit of a pain in the patella. To quote Philoctetes, the dwarves look like they might be doing a little bit of just moving and doing soddle. They've got a much bigger army than I expected, though. But then if they don't bother with Rune, who quite frequently... Or certainly if the dwarves don't have to fight Rune if they don't really want to, and Dorwinion can deal with that for enough time for the dwarves to actually start getting their cogs going and building up steam. And that's, of course, what we do not want them to do. So we do have to try and keep on the pressure. It's a little out of our hands whether or not we can keep on the pressure, so...
Get ready for fighting.
Pull back to there. You guys go down and try and join that army. You into Framsberg, where you're retraining? They can actually retrain. I think. Oh yes, they can actually. They're just retraining numbers, but they unfortunately don't have any money yet. Oh no, indeed, we're losing money. Hand over fist. Rukskibil, you're going to have to stay there as a garrison force in that regard then. So when those reinforcements arrive, we'll move out of Anazanar. But for the time being, we're somewhat penned in. So we shall end the turn again. Have I got a diplomat somewhere moving around? Yes, in Imladris. Why don't you head south to the Dunlendings and see if we can't get some trade rights going with the filthy Wildman. Yes, can't see anyone from Erebor yet. Oh, come off it, elves. No, please don't tell me Legolas is in that army. He is not. Legolas has remained in Torfilin. Look how many archers they've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they'll skirmish us around they'll just keep skirmishing us.
Pull back! We must pull back!
I'm going to auto-resolve and run away. I know I should have gone into the battle and run away, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered. You've got to weigh it up with can you be bothered to go into the map. We killed 318 of them.
Retreat!
And what we do unfortunately still have, which we aren't really supposed to have, is numbers. Although, now having said that, Gundabad will always have more units available than a dwarf or an elf nation ever would. They're closer to humans in their recruitment than they are to orcs, but they're much closer to orcs than they are to elves or dwarves.
Come on!
Originally they were set to be like dwarves in their recruitment times and replenishment rates, but then it was changed because it was way too prohibitive.
No sleeping here!
Oh, the dwarves have come for a Nazanar.
Pick your feet up! We have completed an objective.
Well, I'll happily let them siege us. Our army will arrive in 2 turns, so I doubt they'll be threatening us. Pull back to Nord Mazog. Our second army has just fallen foul and has lost a sizable number of troops. I suppose we could call a spade and just leave the elves alone for a moment and try and get a power base elsewhere. For now, they will end the turn, but I don't know what to do now. I've stoked the wrath of 2 mighty neighbours, and I didn't really want to do that, but I did want to do that because I would like to try and push myself as well. Learn as we go along, as they say. I'm thoroughly looking forward to recording the Ardenheim episodes for the end of this week. Thoroughly looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying just YouTube in general at the moment, to be honest. Peaks and troughs with YouTube general enjoyment, but at the moment we're definitely on a peak. So I'd like to keep that going. Dwynnin and Rune and Gondor and Enedwythe have allied. That doesn't happen often. Oh, the elves. Bugger, they have come for us.
Be gone. No sleeping here.
We don't have anything, really.
Listen up!
They won't even get there in time, and that's a village. That was a stupid idea. We'll die if we stay in there. You get more money now, though. We've got Goblin Town in a turn. And then Marauder Chief Hazolg can ride his way east, I suppose. That's going to have to be our plan.
Listen up! Come on!
Right, so apologies for the number of end turns this one is incurring, but we might be attacked now by the elves, so do stand by. And we'll certainly get Goblin Town now, which means we can move on Mythelberg and try and sweep the Anduin's northern provinces from underneath them. And there's the elves. So we've got to give them everything we have, but it's a village. We don't get any towers, we don't get any walls, and with the amount of archers they have, we shall be like fish in a barrel. We do still outnumber them. And we've got our general, who is better than anything they've got. And he's not going to be able to kill them all, but we'll be able to kill a great deal of them. But I think we're going to need Hazolg to come back pretty damn sharpish. We might not be able to attack Mythelberg. We might have to take the elves on first. Dol Guldur not really pulling their weight at the moment. Disappointing to see. There they are. We are going to get annihilated. I trust you're all aware of that. Let's move you over there to try and flank when the time comes. Our own archers stand at the back. Don't run away. Goblins. Speaking of goblins, this would basically be the unit that I'm talking about that would come from Goblin Town. Goblin infantry. I'm sure there's another couple of goblin units we could use. Just to give it a bit of flavour, you know. Also, I am very pro the idea of Gundabad kind of enslaving people as they go along. No, everyone's just going to have to stand where you are at the moment because no one's doing anything I'm telling them to do. Alright, put the goblins in front. Raiders. Raiders! You guys go over there. Take those with you. Javelin troops. Oh, don't do that. Go crawl. Oh, bugger. They're not even sending melee troops against us by the looks of it. We're just going to die to arrow fire. Oh no, we've got some wardens coming in over there. Perfect. Get out quick, get out quick.
The battle is very much in our favour.
Now you can charge back
Victory
in.
will be ours.
Javelin troops getting massacred. You go and try and disrupt them, I suppose. Ilkra pull down there.
The tide of battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and
Tide of battle seems to have turned against us. You know we're going to die, right? Goodness, look at that. And people telling me that the bloody scouts are better than elves. I blooming well beg to differ.
Only half our force remains.
They are massacring us by doing exactly what I would have done if I was there. Sitting outside the town and just shooting arrows at us. Just go for it. Try and get as many as you can. Oh, they won.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Go on, go on.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost
Oh.
half their men.
Elves not doing so well, are they? I mean, as I say, we are still definitely going to lose, but I hadn't counted on our melee forces being as good. Ilkra absolutely carving through the elves over there at the moment. One of those elves is having a bit of a hard time. Go on, go on. No, Ilkra! Ilkra! Shut up, those bloody elves. This is the way. I think we fought incredibly valiantly. 70% of the enemy has died. Ilkrul's bodyguard fights on despite his death. That's true Snow Orc skill there. There he is. The last kiss of death. No, I think we can hold our heads high. Now, in the last time that image popped up, I said that it was an image of Minas Tirith from Beleriand, not Minas Tirith of Gondor fame. And I've been corrected, and it is in fact an artist's interpretation of the hidden city of Gondolin. Because notable absences are the large river Sirion, which breaks up the isle that Minas Tirith sits on, or creates the isle that Minas Tirith sits on. But then there was a light patch in front of the mountain-esque mountain shape in the middle that looked like it could be a river, and so from a certain angle maybe you just couldn't see the waters, was what I was thinking. Because of all of certainly in my own mind, and of all of the images I've seen of Gondolin, that city just doesn't look big enough. But then I suppose that's the whole point of artist interpretation, isn't it? It's what they see, it's what you see. Personal taste. You're never rallying out now, you utter morons. You've had literally 9 turns to attack me, and you wait until you are completely outnumbered. I'm not going to fight that. I don't like the Goblin Town battle map, I'm afraid. The Snaga! With the capture and subjugation of Goblin Town, the Orcs of Gundabad now have access to a vast horde of weak-willed goblins. These Snaga, or slaves, can be put to good use in the forefront of our armies and help keep our own brothers and sisters alive. With the enemy desperately trying to fight off the horde, the Snow Orcs will be able to swoop in for the killing blow. This is an excellent step on the path to returning to Morgoth's dominion to Middle-earth. Many people have pointed out that Orcs would probably not call him Morgoth, and they would call him Melkor, because Morgoth is the name that was given to him by the Elves. I would agree, I suppose. I should probably go through and change it. Proper trash. Snaga. Let's get an armory up. But let's move the army out straight away. Screw it.
Kill them all! Destroy them!
Maintain this pressure. Can you train something in... Oh, you might be able to hear my cat. Apologies if you can. Oh, yes, because I think she's probably in the room. Bear with me. And Kalime is getting much better at opening the doors. You would think for a creature that doesn't have opposable thumbs that doors would never be something she would master, but no. She's learnt that our doors are not very good, and that if she simply throws herself at them, they mostly open. Right, we've got a fair bit of money now. Goblin Town is ours, so let's try and get some Snow Orc units going. I'll take Raiders as well, because I do like them. And that army will have to be led, of course, by Bol's Mug, and that will have to try and... I don't think the Elves will press on, because they haven't got the troop sizes at the moment, but the Dwarves are coming.
Get ready for fighting! Pick your feet up!
We've got quite a nice garrison there now. Right. Mythelberg. Goblin Town will have troops soon. Full selection. Vale of Anduin do not like us. Ilkrul died, of course. Oh yeah, look, new family member. Excuse me, sorry. I don't know where that image is stored. I have to look into that one. Yeah, I don't know where that's stored. Yeah, I'll be able to find it, I'm sure. But, right, we can retrain that unit, so let's do that. No, we can only retrain one. And end the turn again. Let's see what happens. Goblin Town brought us so much money. It's interesting how much money is actually made through trade that you just can't see in the town's information scroll. So there, obviously, it's telling me Goblin Town is bringing an extra 2,144, which is brilliant. It is bringing in 2,000 gold coins that we know of. But we saw from our faction overview screen that we were going to be making about 3,000 or 4,000 or something like that. So, like, where's that extra 2,000 coming from? And of course, it's coming from the fact that we now border a lot of nations that we have trade rights with, and we've got a new region that's got new resources to sell. And it makes so it is normally actually made up from the faction scroll is correct. The city scroll that number is the amount of money you're going to make through trade from this province. But what you don't see, of course, is that every other region then starts making a bit more money as you start selling the resources that you now gained in the region you just took. So that's where the extra money normally comes from. Right, the dwarves are coming, so in the interest of that, we need to send troops away to the east. They're training though, which is nice. They're normal retrain, we don't want that. Try and get some more units there. The Anduin did not bother attacking us at Meitelberg. Oh, Grimbjorn resides within. Goblin Caverns. Oh, that'll be how we can do the script. We can just put the units in that building. Perfect. Are the dwarves and the elves allied? That's a question. Yes, they are. Bugger. But then maybe they'll stop at the river there. Maybe they'll stop. And so Nazanar's the real threat. King Thorin. Oh, he's got a shed load of cavalry. Oh, that's not a threatening army at all. That's a ridiculously rubbish army. What a terrible army. Anywho, I think I'm going to end the episode there. So, thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. There will not now be a Gundabad episode for about 2 weeks, because, as I say, I am on holiday next week. I can't record. And there will be 2 more Ardenheim this week, and whatever happens, there'll be 2 Ardenheim this week and a top 10 overview. And I also hope to do a faction overview, but it's just depending if I can get time, because I leave on Saturday morning. But for now, that'll be all. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. And until we speak again, dear friends, Nevar Neden Pedimat Melonin, and farewell.